This is the Tree of Life, Season 26, Chapter 3. In this episode, we will be talking about affirmational and negational substances and their impact on the tautological flow of consciousness from vessel to vessel. Some substances, when ingested or consumed by the body in some way, catalyze the tautological flow of consciousness from vessel to vessel. These are affirmational substances. They do this by accelerating integration of impulses by reverse substitution events, which in the absence of integration would lead to sequential substitution. The manner by which these substances are consumed depends on the substance, determining the impact on integration and the corresponding tautological flow. Different substances act on the affirmational rhythms and others act on the negational rhythms. Affirmational and negational rhythms were introduced in Season 20, Chapter 1. The distinction between affirmational rhythms and negational rhythms arises out of what kind of substitution event renders them regular. Affirmational rhythms obtain regularity through reverse substitution events. Negational rhythms obtain regularity through substitution events. This is because some rhythms obtain regularity through non-integration, while others achieve recurrence through integration. Affirmational rhythms are those such as the sleep cycle and sexual cycle. Negational cycles are those such as the urination cycle and digestive cycle. But affirmational substances don't only act on affirmational rhythms, just as negational substances don't only act on negational rhythms. Rather, there are two types of negational substances: those which slow integration by increasing the frequency of sequential substitution events by acting on the negation at the conclusion of reverse substitution, and those which slow integration by decreasing the frequency of acquiescence at the beginning of reverse substitution. Just as there are two types of affirmational substances, those which increase the frequency of acquiescence and those which decrease the frequency of negation. Different substances act at different ends of reverse substitution through different cycles. Now, what explains the origin of affirmational and negational substances? The answer is provided by infinite recursion. Some substances are lower and some are higher. Some are within universes, such as nested universes in infinite recursion, which are deeply derivative. We talked in past episodes how when the attention is fixed on the body self-consciously in negation, we see the transformation of a digital structure to an analog one. We call this self-consciousness by need. Whereas, when the attention is fixed in negation on some object in the environment, we see a transformation of an analog structure to a digital one. We call this relationally self-conscious. Some substances enhance the tautological flow by increasing our relational self-consciousness. Others impair that flow by increasing the extent to which we are self-conscious by need. This means, for example, that consumption of some substances can enhance infinite recursion by making sequential substitution events more likely. These are negational substances. Examples of negational substances are alcohol, caffeine, nicotine. Examples of affirmational substances are fiber or cannabis. Finally, negational substances are linked to hierarchical priority, as infinite recursion is terminated by the compelling of acquiescence and imposing of a context length, whereas tautological priority is linked to affirmational substances. That's the end of the podcast for today.